Howdy-ho, my peeps. I'm sitting out here in my golf cart, got my snake boots on, got water there, and I have water here, and then I have this big old thing of water down there. I've learned one little, 30-ounce container of water is not enough when you're out here doing this kind of work. And this kind of work is, start back there and look at it. I've been doing weed eating and raking and chopping down of star thistle. I think you can see it through the window real well there. I'll bring it back around here. So yeah, I stop right where that pipe fence is, and then when I'm done getting all of this raked up and dragged to the burn pile on that blue tarp, then I go inside the pasture and I do the inside perimeter of that field fence. And my son and I have to do some work. We're missing some fence. That's what the pallets are, is to try to keep the cows out, but the cows figure out how to get in there anyway. And then all this stuff needs to be weed-eated, raked, and a lot of it is trash, broken, needs to be hauled away. I'm getting very territorial about all these damned vehicles that are scattering around my yard. I've got to get rid of these things. But they are not mine, they belong to Grant, so I have to convince him that he has to get rid of them. And right there, center screen, that white stuff, that is a pile of solar panels. And let me tell you something, we are going to put those solar panels to use this summer. I want to run my air conditioner. Hang on a minute, I'm going to turn this around. Okay, I hope you can see me. I want to run my swamp cooler and my pump, my water pump for the well. I want to run those off of solar for the rest of the, of the sunny part of the year. And, when I build the she shed, I want to run that off of solar. I want to be able to, plug in a glue gun or a light, nothing major, and, not have to run extension cords. So that is what I'm up to today. And, I'm feeling pretty good. There's a nice breeze. I'd say it's around a 8 to 10 mile an hour breeze when it gusts up. And as long as I stay wet, which I do, I don't overheat, and I drink a lot of water as well. It's about, just under 100 degrees right now. It's supposed to go up to 103. It'll hang there for a couple days, then go on up to about 106 and hang out there till the end of next week, at least through Friday or Saturday. And today is Monday. So, yeah, it's hot. And we do have fires around us. We have the Fresno Complex fire, which is east. It's southeast of us. It's not huge, thank God. It's somewhere under 15,000 acres, I think. And then we've got the Basin fire, and then a couple other smaller fires. Very difficult to fight because these fires, they're primarily grass and brush fires, they're not high enough up that they're in the pines. Anyhow, they're hard to fight because they're in very rough, really rough terrain. You can't really get bulldozers back there or anything. So, they're putting up a perimeter and just letting it burn, which is not a bad idea when you get right down to it. So yeah, it's not, the fire sitch is not too bad. It's always bad when there are fires, but it's not too bad so far this year. And we're all being very, very careful, trying to, get rid of anything dry. And Of course, so much of the Sierra burned a couple of years ago in the creek fire that there are big, broad swaths of nothing but brush and grass. So those will be easier to fight if those sorts of fires should happen this year. Made it to the fence line today. So I'm actually over a little bit on my neighbor's property, but no big deal. I'm considering just going ahead and I'll show you. You see all those weeds going up? Like this. All of the weeds, they go up, and then they terminate at that piece of pipe fencing. I'm thinking about doing that. I don't know how many feet that is. What, about 75 feet or so? It's not nearly as challenging as getting the my section done. My section was really bad, in part because I've got a culvert that I have to negotiate, and it's easy to fall into it. Who knows what's living down there? You'll see that I've got caution tape that is tied to some hazards. That's old chicken wire that's embedded in the ground that I couldn't pull up. I've got this big chunk of pulled up weeds here. It's all mostly star thistle. I've got to deal with that tomorrow, take it up to my burn pile. But you can see that the rest of the fence line has been pretty well taken care of. This down in here is just stuff that needs to be raked up. It's already been weed-eated. And when we come up higher, we'll see that back in behind this, the branches of this big oak tree. Take a look. It's actually pretty good in there. It could use a nice raking. And then I need to get the chainsaw out and clean it out from inside, and then trim up all these branches so that they're not sitting on the ground. Then up here there's a little bit of very, very light fuel that can be hit with a weed eater and raked once. Not nearly as challenging as dealing with all of the star thistle was. That was something. This pretty little tree could use a little trim up from the bottom, and that's true pretty much of all the little trees that we're going to pass. Now this area got weeded earlier in the spring. I think Mike did this, and it stayed pretty good. Not a lot of regrowth, but it is looking, what's the word? Shaggy, unkempt. You can see all the grass that's growing up along the fence there. That I'm going to need to get in there. I'm going to hit it with the weed eater and rake it again. Then I'm going to pull all of that grass out by hand. I would like a nice, clean fence line. I know it doesn't make a difference really, but it makes a difference to me. You'll also see right on the other side of my fence, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bunch of eucalyptus. I need to cut that up, make it into kindling, and then do some digging to get rid of the silt that is keeping this cattle gate from being able to freely open. I want to be able to have that functional just because it's a good idea. This big old eucalyptus, I should have let them take this thing down last year. The power company wanted to take it out completely. I said, no, don't. Now I'm sorry, because it's a mess and it's dangerous. Those things go up like torches, flamethrowers when they catch on fire. So that little ornamental tree there probably needs to just completely come out. I've got a dead peach tree right next to it that needs to come out. But, you know, we start getting up here into my upper garden and this area, and this is where I've really concentrated on making things look, and, well, not just look, but be orderly. So I'm pretty happy with how this is going. Let's see here. I've got some bricks down here and another pile over here. I'm going to transfer, dang, all the dust. I'm going to transfer these bricks over into my materials pile, and I'm sure they will find a use in the she shed. There's trash that my son's going to come get the next time he does a dump run. And we're back home. I'm over here in the shade. The frankincense. I have given some thought to knocking down the frankincense, but I just can't do it because I love it so much. Although I am going to take these green fence panels out of here, neaten that up a little bit. So I'm going to flip it around. Okay, so that brings me to the end of a very long day. Very long day. And I will probably get up tomorrow morning and do it all over again, at least for a few hours. Like I said, when the temperature reaches 100 or slightly above, that's the time to quit. So I've got plenty of things to do inside, so that's what I will do. I need to make a couple batches of Chinese almond cookies, sugar-free, gluten-free, for a dear friend, and get those shipped off to her. And you know, just do some cooking and some cleaning and putting junk in bags to haul out to the dump pile. So I have plenty to do over the next week while we have this awful heat wave. So I hope everybody's doing well where you are, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.